Hello, everybody. This is Paul Plana. So we have our whole team here, Sid, Ali, and Yash as well. So we are now live. So this is basically 2 years of hard work that we've brought in here for CloneVoice.ai. Super exciting to have you all here. So first of all, this is going to be happening in two ways. Okay. So first of all, we have a lot of prizes to be given away today, bonuses, and also, of course, cash prizes, free copies as well, and stuff like that. So we will be going through them step by step today. So the second thing that I also have here is to also showcase, okay, all the cool features. Yes, of course, of CloneVoice.ai, we'll go step by step. Secondly, we'll be doing Q&A and stuff like that, where we're answering all your questions. And of course, what my plan here and our whole team's plan here is to make sure that no question gets left unanswered. We'll show you the case studies and how to use this powerful technology and all that. So first of all, let me quickly explain to you where this CloneVoice.ai came from, and then I'll show you an actual use case of the application itself and all that good stuff. So first of all, one of the things that we've seen quite a bit across our applications, let's say Video Express, let's say Artistly, right, with storybooks and flip books and stuff like that, and even say Talking Photos and stuff, is almost a majority of our customers would go in and they'll be like, okay, I use these applications. You guys are updating it all the time for free. I paid once, and you've been updating Video Express. You've been updating Artistly, V6 for Artistly, V2 for Video Express, and of course, Talking Photos V3 is coming up as well in 3 weeks or so. So we're updating all these applications even though you paid once. But the problem is, I want to utilize music, songs. So I have to go and use a tool like Suno.ai, pay them a lot of money to then come in and upload that audio and all that kind of stuff. Makes it very messy. Second thing, I have to now go to 11 Labs or some other tool to do voice cloning, then generate emotional voices, expressions, design a voice from prompt. And it's just too frustrating, because the thing is, you want an ecosystem, correct? So why do we use the iPhone? In the iPhone, you have integrations with the headphones, for example. You plug it in, it's ready to go, right? You don't have to now figure out, okay, I'm going to get the headphones from some other company, and then the phone from another company, some software from somewhere else. So what we thought is we'll create an ecosystem where you don't have to jump into an 11 Labs. You don't have to jump into a Suno or AI, whatever, and then they all merge together. So that's where CloneVoice.ai came into picture 2 years ago. We could have released it 2 years ago, but we were not satisfied with where voice cloning was in, where music and song generation, where vocals was headed. It's just now we feel it's perfect right out of the box. Okay, so that's where CloneVoice.ai is going to be coming up. And when you get CloneVoice.ai today, of course, we have some free copies to be giving away and all that. But if you get it, it'll help us out, obviously, because all the profits we made from other applications, we invested in this technology. So when you get it, right, we'll also be talking about integrations, right? How you can basically utilize these applications with others of ours as well. So you don't have to go buy an external tool and another subscription and stuff like that. You have everything in-house, right? So now, what is CloneVoice.ai? How does it work? And basically, what are some features? Okay, so let me walk you through that step by step right now, so you can see it straight out of the gate. Okay, so let me actually share my screen here real quick, and of course, we'll be answering your questions and stuff like that as well. All right. Okay. All right, so I'm in the CloneVoice.ai application. Of course, the two big features here are cloning your voice and generating audiobooks, podcasts, and all that kind of good stuff, but also generating music and songs and rhymes and that sort of thing with vocals. Now, here's the best part. This will take you to the next level if you understand it. First, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you some demos of the type of stuff that you can create. Then I'll show you how you can recreate it inside the application. All right. So first of all, let's talk about voice cloning. So when you talk about voice cloning, there's two components, right? Component number one is cloning your voice and being able to generate that voice in that language. So let's say English, or let's say you're a native Spanish speaker or whatever, you can generate that in that voice. The second component of it is to basically clone a voice once in English and being able to dub it or speak it in multiple languages, which is what we like to call AI dubbing. So let me show you a couple of demos of how that can be utilized, and then I'll show you how to use it in the application.
Ahora puedo expresarme en español, sin perder el tono y la esencia de quién soy.
Ich kann jetzt so fließend Deutsch sprechen, Zuve, und Sie würden nie erraten, dass ich nicht aus Berlin komme.
Avec ça, je peux te parler en français
Comme si je l'avais toujours su. Ora parlo più di 240 lingue e non sembro mai un robot.
无论你来自哪里，你都可以生成像当地人一样的声音。
कोई डबिंग नहीं, कोई विकृति नहीं, बस प्राकृतिक भाषण जिसे आप कुछ ही सेकंड में बना सकते हैं।
Реальные голоса. Настоящий тон. Создано вами на любом языке, который вы выберете.
Now you can create a perfect replica of your voice in French, Spanish, Arabic, Hindi, or in any language you want. Vous voyez, je parle en français en ce moment et ça sonne toujours comme moi. أهلاً, اسمي ليلى وأنا متحمسة جداً لمشاركتكم هذه القصة اليوم. Ahora escucha, esta soy yo hablando en español con mi misma voz natural. आप किसी भी भाषा में अपनी आवाज बना सकते हैं जैसे मैं हिंदी में बोल रही हूँ.
Check how easy it is. You just go into CloneVoice, click and clone your voice. Just upload a file. Let me upload. And then as you can see here, I have my voice uploaded and I just give it a name, whatever I want it to be. And then you just give it a language. So in this particular case, my voice is in English. So I'll do that. If it's in Spanish, we want to put Spanish as a language. The cloning is a lot more accurate. I'm going to give my gender here, and then I'm going to clone my voice. Boom. So the voice has been cloned immediately. Now, all I need to do is just go to create audio, select my voice here, as you can see here, and give it a name, ketogenic diets, benefits to weight loss. Then I just put my language here. And if I want to make myself speak in English, I'm just going to put in the script here. And if I don't know what to write, I just go into generate script and it'll generate me the script. I can even give it a URL. I can give it what I want to talk about. I can even have it search the web if it's more recent, something to do with news and that sort of thing. Like generate script, takes a couple of seconds. And boom, there we go. We have the script generated. And then now you can go to create audio and then you can change things around. You can add emotions here. You can add expressions and all this other good stuff at any point in time. So let's say, for example, I want to make this into a happy sounding voice and then this one into, let's say, a sad sounding voice. I can do so. I want to add expressions where, let's say I want to add in laughter at the end, like chuckle. You can add that chuckle and it's going to start having that chuckle expression. Now this is in English. What if we want to do it in another language? So let's talk about the dubbing feature here. So all you have to do, okay, again, your original voice is in English. Your original language is in English. So now you go and click on translate to, okay, and then you just click on Spanish, let's say, and then you translate this, all right, and then it'll translate the text into Spanish. Now, this is if you don't know how to speak Spanish, correct? Or whatever language it might be. And then you just go in, select the voice again, boom, boom, boom. There we go. Select the voice. And then there we go. Now I can make myself speak Spanish and dub my voice. It'll sound like me and it will be ready to go. And the beauty here is that I never have to understand or speak that language. Now, if my original language is in Spanish, let's say, for example, I want to natively clone my voice in Spanish, then the same thing applies here. All you have to do is clone your voice in that original language. And then you go back and then you basically click on it, you upload your file here, which is in Spanish, and then you would pick the language as being Spanish. So it'll be more accurate, and that way you don't have to do any translation. So you have both options. You can dub your voice in any language, even if you don't know how to speak it, or you can even upload your voice in one of the 40 plus languages that we support, and more will be supported, where you can clone it in that native language so that it sounds like you with your tonality, pitch, and your lightness. The next big feature that's very revolutionary is our prompt to voice maker technology. What that means is you can give a prompt and generate any type of voice that you can desire. This can be, for example, human sounding voices, like what you see right now, for example, where it is narrational, it is conversational, let's say something like a news reporter, or let's say, for example, a radio DJ, RJ broadcasting person, male or female, that sort of thing, very human sounding, professional, or a British accent, that kind of thing. And then the second one is the creative voice maker. This is something very unique. What this can allow you to do is create expressive character voices that are not exactly even human. This could be like a fairy, a witch, alien. This could be, for example, a wizard. You get the idea. And the beauty of this is you can literally create unlimited variations of this. And this is also useful where you're doing any kind of storytelling, narration, and you want to go beyond the standard voices that you've seen with other applications out there. And this allows you to do unlimited variations, yes, but also the second great part about this is because of the fact that you can then bring it into the aspect of creating, right, the voices down the line, it gives you better storytelling capability, better ability to create two people speaking, for example, that kind of stuff. And the best way to do it right here is the fact that you can start with a prompt or even just a keyword. Let me show you.
Now create any voice, any tone. Just describe and hear it in seconds.
Add emotions too. Calm, excited, sad, or anything you need.
Got a song idea? Describe it and hear a real melody.
Bring stories to life with voices that actually feel human.
Create podcast-ready voices without recording a single word.
You won't believe you can actually create a voice just like mine. And boom! I'm talking your script now. Create voices for videos, ads, podcasts, whatever you want.
Create voices that sound real, May. Warm, bold, deep, or playful.
Create the voice you imagine and use it like it's real.
It's so easy to do. You go to the voice maker in the application, go and create a professional voice maker or the creative voice maker. Professional will allow you to generate human sounding professional voices using text prompts, similar to narration, conversational style, promotional, like a news reporter, that kind of thing. Creative will allow you to create even an alien sounding voice, fairy, pirate, wizard, goblin, anything you can imagine. So professional, you just click here, you just give it a name. So let's say I want to do a news reporter, right? And then you can just say a professional news reporter with British accent or something like that. And then you just click on generate professional and it's done. It's going to generate it in a few seconds. And then you can go back if you want to generate the creative voice maker. Let's do that. Here, you just have to type in one thing. Let's say you want to do an angry ogre. So I just type in angry ogre and describe the voice as well. And then I just click on this and let's preview the voice. It's going to take about a couple of minutes or so, sometimes less, to generate that voice. It's going to give you 5 options. You play it, whichever one you like. Let's say, for example, I like this one.
Hey, this is what I sound like.
Perfect. So I'll just pick and then I just choose and click create voice. Boom, done. So every time now I can just start using this in any audio that I decide to use. You can do the same thing for any variation. Example, I have an old pirate I want to create. Again, give you that. It's going to give me 5 variations. I like this one.
This is what I sound like. You can use me for narration.
I select it and boom, create. Done. now all I need to do is every time I'm trying to create an audio, I can go to select voice. I can go into the clone voices and as well as these are called design voices. So then I can just go in and then I can just use the old pirate. And then there we go. Can start generating the audio from there. All you have to do is just pick your voice and then you just have a script and then you just click on this. You're going to go to preview segments area. And then here is where you can add, first of all, emotional style. So this is going to make them happy, sad, disgusted, surprised. And that's the thing. You can keep it default, any voice. And then the second you can do as well is let's say there's a joke, there's something funny, right? See, this is aha, success. So you can put laughter here. So that's the expression. So you can say laugh, for example, and more any other emotions like the bagging area, it's empty. And then you can put a sigh, you get the point, right? So you can add these at any point in these blocks. And then when you're done, you can just create your audio and these emotions will play. Let me show you how they sound like.
Ugh.
Oh. Pretty cool. Next, you can create multi-speaker podcasts like this.
Have you ever wondered what sugar really does to our body?
Honestly, I used to think it just gives energy or maybe causes cavities, but I've recently heard it can mess up a lot more.
Yes, so today we're going to discuss something we all consume daily.
Here's how easy it is to do. You can do that on any topic. You just pick speaker and then the other speaker, in this case, my clone voice. And then I also have a voice that I've designed with a prompt and then give it a speaker name, Paul and James here. And we're going to talk about how the AI revolution will change the world forever. And boom, create the podcast. And then it's going to create a multi-speaker podcast that you can edit, customize however you want, and then you hit the generate podcast and you're good to go. You can even create full-length audiobooks. So let's say you can just click on any script you want to paste any audiobook information and just select the voice and just click create the audiobooks because you can create very long-length audiobooks using this simple feature. So easy, straightforward. You can even create vocal songs, background music scores, as well as children's rhymes like this.
Sugar hands sprinkle bright, baking cakes from morn to night. Flower flies, the whisk spin. Market day is joy within. Baker girl, sweetest cakes in all the world.
All you need to do is click on the kids rhymes area, AI generated, and then you can say a rhyme about a baker girl selling her cakes in the market, right? And then you just click on the lyrics. It generates as the lyric automatically. Boom, like so, intro, verse, and everything. And then when you're happy, you can say baker girl song, and then you just click on good to go. It starts generating the music. Next, what if you want to create a pop song like this?
The sun goes down, the waves roll in.
Same thing, you create genre pop, and then you just create a pop song about sunset, played with a guitar, create lyric, and good to go. There's so many other features like our public library where the community will be creating voices for you that you can pick, such as Vampire, Cat, or Oracle, Fairy, or even our Script Genie feature where you can actually create scripts from any YouTube video that you've seen or any other idea that you have, or our designing of sound or instrumentals like drums or trailer music and other cool things. So it's really, really awesome. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of show you in depth about some of the things that maybe I covered a little bit too quickly. I'll go step by step and kind of show you how some of these things can come together, some of the cool bonuses that we have for you, and some other cool things so that brings it all together. All right. Oops, I got muted there. Okay, there's so many features in the application, right? So one of the things that always comes about when we do this is we discuss, right? Which feature is important, what do we do, and that sort of thing. So let me kind of explain to you right now. So let's kind of recap a couple of things, right? We showed voice cloning, right? Now the advantage for voice cloning, if you think about it, is that we can do both cloning of your own voice, yes, but also be able to dub your voice in multiple languages. Okay, we support about 40 plus languages right now, more to be added. So let me explain what that means in simple terms. You can clone your English voice. You don't have a clue of what's speaking, say Spanish, Hindi, or other languages. In case those are missed in the earlier on when I mentioned this, you can do this, meaning you can dub it in another language. Alternatively, you can also, by the way, clone your own natural voice. Let's say you speak Mexican accented Spanish or Argentinian Spanish or the Spain Castilian Spanish, right? The pronunciations are different in all these places. You can do that too. So how this would work, like in simple terms, is I'll just kind of walk you through this, okay? Because sometimes people get confused. Okay, you're going to the clone voice, right? And you're choosing the clone of your voice. You just have to upload audio. Generally, we recommend upload as opposed to, recording from microphone of a better quality. So let's say, for example, I've done it, right? So under my voices, you see I have Powell Natural Voice. I've uploaded it right now. It just takes a couple of seconds or whatever. It's instant, okay? It's not like it's going to take an hour or one day or whatever. So then what happens is when you go to create audio, okay, you see on my screen right now, you go to create audio and you select the voice, right? Let's say, for example, if I go back here, let me show you, is that basically when you go to cloned, okay, and you do Paul's voice, which is my voice. Now check this out. You can go in, okay, you see the original language is English right now, and you can translate it because, hey, look, I don't know many of the languages, let's say, right? So let's say, for example, I don't know Spanish. Okay, I'll show you. So let's say we generate some script, right? So we can use the AI generator to generate some script, for example. So let's say, for example, AI revolution for human productivity is what we are trying to do. Let's just say explainer. We're going to use it for that purpose or whatever. So now the point I'm trying to make is that when you generate the script, right, in English, and you don't know the other language at hand, okay? So let's say this is the script that we generated, right? So now watch it. I select the voice, my voice, and then I translate it, okay? So what it's doing right now behind the scenes, you see it translated into Spanish, okay? And then when you go to the next step, you see it goes into this section right here. Here, did you notice what happened here? It says Spanish, okay? So what that means is I've dubbed my English voice into Spanish, which sounds like me. Then you can also add to my voice, or in this case, your voice or your client's voices or whatever. You can add happy tone, sad tone, angry tone, afraid tone, and that sort of thing with the block system. For each of the block, you can basically make the adjustments, okay? So let's say, for example, I want to make it happy here alone, and then I want to make it, say, angry here. You can play around. Or you don't even want it that way. You want it to be default. Secondly, at any point in time, you want to add any emotions like chuckle, laughter, sigh, that sort of thing. You can add that at any point into the script, okay? So that's dubbing, okay? In other words, what that means is that even if I don't know how to speak the 40 languages or whatever we have, but I want to reach audiences around the world, I can do this right here, okay? Pretty powerful. The other thing, okay, which I want to kind of show you right now is, well, okay, the dubbing sometimes, it has certain, because translation sometimes is not accurate, right? It does not take into slangs we do. Like those people who are from Argentina, and speak Spanish from Argentina, you have different slang words for certain things, right? As opposed to Mexico or whatever. The same thing with Arabic, same thing with like different languages out there where accent in Arabic in Egypt is different from accent in Saudi Arabia or something like, say, right? Or UAE, for example. So same concept, right? So in that case, instead of just relying on translation, you can do your natural native languages voice clone. So we go back. Okay, I'll just open a new tab here just for the sake of argument. And then you can go here. See how it's saying upload your own file. So now what I would do, I would just upload my file. So I will go in here. You see I have a Argentinian Spanish voice, right? And then I would go pick language. And I would go in and I would pick Spanish, okay? This way what happens is when I clone my voice, right? Paul Argentinian Spanish, because let's say I'm from Argentina, I want to create my own natural voice. You can just click on that and then you can clone this in that native language. So then what happens now is the dubbing works the other way around too. See? So for example, I'm a Spanish speaker. I cannot speak English, let's say, for example. Then I can now dub my voice. You see the parallel in Spanish? I go back into the create audio, and let's say I'll say Argentinian to English. Let's say I'm just making up something, right? So let's say, for example, then what we can do is, again, so now you're going to pick Spanish. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. When you pick Spanish automatically, and then you click on English as the dub, right? Watch this. Select voice, going to clone, right? You will see basically my Spanish voice show up here. Does that make sense? So that's basically the idea here of what we mean by the dubbing. It goes both ways effectively. Okay. So basically you can now, if you don't want to dub, let's say you don't even want to do it, right? So you don't want to do it. Let's say you just want to keep it Spanish and you want to leave it. So you can just go back and then go pick Spanish as an example. And then you're done. No need to do anything. Just pick the voice, which is your Spanish voice. Put your Spanish script here, like hola, ¿cómo estás? Whatever, right? Something like that, right? And you're done. Same thing with Hindi, same thing with whatever language, right? Even the right to left languages like Arabic and stuff, okay? Where it goes right to left. No problem. So you can put your accent, your actual language here and the script, and you're good to go. Okay. Is that clear? So that is the idea of when we say cloning in multiple languages and dubbing in also multiple languages. Okay. Hope that is clear for you. So when you talk about voice cloning, so this is very powerful because it gives you more actual flexibility, right, in what you can achieve. Now, the next thing I talked about, to just kind of give you a summary, is our AI voice maker, okay? This is pretty powerful in that, like if you go here, one of the problems people have it all the time is, look, I get the concept of voice cloning. I understand. My voice is not like a pretty amazing voice, nor when I'm creating projects, right? I don't know, I don't have enough voices to clone, okay? Nor do I want to stick to some standard voices. As an example, you're going to select audio. We have something called system voices, right? So you see this right here. It says system voices right here. What does that mean? It's standard voices, right? These are voices like very human sounding. But the problem is this is what happens with all text-to-speech applications out there, right? Like they have this set of standard voices. And then the problem with these, again, you probably know, right? Is that these standard voices are static, right? You cannot build on top of it, and you're just stuck, okay? So we were thinking for a long time, how do we make it such that you can create unlimited variations, even if you don't want to use your microphone, even if you're not comfortable in front of the camera, whatever the case might be. So then we came about with this concept called prompt to voice. Okay, it's under the voice maker feature. Okay, this is what I was telling you about earlier. In the voice maker, you see what's cool here. You got a professional voice maker option and a creative voice maker option. Both have their own benefits. We are the only ones who've done it this way. So how this works is you can create, let's say with a professional one, you can create, say, for example, let's say a spokesperson style voice, you know, a radio jockey, RJ, right? Look like in front of a studio, a news reporter style voice. You see what I'm saying? Documentary narrator. You see what I'm saying? You can do it that way with this one, more human sounding. On the other hand, though, for true storytelling, you want to have creative voices, right? Creative voices are maybe they may not sound like a human being. They might be like an alien, fairy, a pirate voice, or, you know, 18th century Shakespearean king's voice, correct? Wizard, goblin, you get the point. We're more creative in nature, very good for storytelling, very good for creating videos if you're doing it for YouTube and all that kind of stuff, to be able to get very creative voices, right? So both of them are beneficial, but depending on the use case, if you think about it, right? So if you go to start creating, the way we've done it, one of the biggest problems people have, if you think about it, is, look, I am not a prompting expert and I don't know what to write. So we just made it easy. So let's say, for example, you wanted to create an angry ogre. You just put angry ogre as the name, and then you just put angry ogre as the name, and we'll create the whole thing for you. Okay. And see like this, I'll show you recreate a voice, and then it's going to take a few seconds. And basically it's going to give you 5 variations and options. Okay. Because, you know, sometimes you might need a teenager's voice, you maybe need an older person's voice, whatever. And you can pick one of the 5 and you can basically pick one of them. Okay. Basically, this is how we've done it. So you can preview any one of these 5 variations and you can go ahead and use it. Now, let's say, for example, I like this one. I can go in and then I can create this voice. Let's say the angry ogre's voice, right? For example, and then I can start using it in my application. So for example, you see how I have a voice here, for example, I can start using this as that angry ogre's voice. Basically, you see my point? And that could be a princess and all that kind of stuff. It goes both ways. So it's simplified. The other cool thing we did, which I didn't get to show you earlier, is the public library. Okay. So let me open this up in a new tab. Okay. So the public library is basically the community, right? You folks are beta testers, ourselves, our internal team for fun. We built thousands and thousands of these voices that basically you can start using from a simple search. So let's say, for example, you want a pirate, right? You can search and it's going to show you all the pirates' voices. You understand what I'm saying? All the pirates' voices and everything else, basically. So it's super, super powerful if you think about it. So let me give you an example of this, why this is so powerful. Because the idea is that in that library, there's thousands and thousands of voices. Does that make sense? So super, super powerful, right? Now, if you go back here, okay, I'll get to that again in just a sec. I'll show you the other features. There's so many of you folks sometimes, my screen might be moving here and there. So the idea here with this is you got two things, right? So I'll write it down so you folks can understand it clearly. So we have like the public library, okay, which is your communities. And right now itself, we have about, I think like 1,000. I won't want to tell you the numbers, but more than 5,000, okay? Of these voices that you can pick, all creative ones and stuff like that right now that you can pick right now. You don't even have to create anything with that prompt to voice or whatever. These are all the creative voices our team internally, our community, our beta testers, they've come up with. Secondly is also where you can, with the prompt, you can generate the voice. Does that make sense? So prompt to voice. So you can say, I want a voice for a news reporter or sports broadcaster. I want to create a voice, for example, British accented gentleman who can narrate a documentary as an example. Or maybe even, like, as I said, creative voices, Goblin and all that kind of stuff, right? So this is the other feature that can do that. Pretty powerful if you think about it, right? Now, the other thing is basically what we did is we did the AI music generator, right? This is the other one, which is a big one. I would say it took us a long time to get this done. So the idea with this one is, again, let me write this down so it's clear, because I want to be very clear so you understand. So you can do, okay, the instrumental stuff, which is the sound effects. This is like trailer music and beat background music and stuff, right? I'll just say background music and instrumentals, right? Say, right? Pretty straightforward. You've seen us do that before, but this is a little bit more unique in that sense. But with music, we've done something really cool. With this music, you can do vocals, okay, based on the categories. It generates the entire lyrics for you. And secondly, you can also do rhyme songs, okay? These are basically children's songs, right? So for kids and stuff. I personally enjoy this feature because we are the first company in the world which has done this. Because I have kids and our team have little children. So we wanted to kind of do something for our own family, right? So it's fun and everybody's enjoying it, for example. So this is what it can do, okay? So in other words, you can do both. And this is vocal, like speaking, okay? And singing, so to speak, okay? I showed you the demos of that too. I'll get to the demos as well in just a sec, right? So the idea is, I mean, sometimes, these things are not playing as well as they should because we have so many people on this live stream right now. But you get the point, right? So it's basically idea to song is what we are trying to call it, right? So you give it an idea and then you can basically get a song out of it. Let me see if we can play this.
Sugar hands sprinkle bright, baking cakes from morn to night. Flower flies, the whisk goes spin, market day is joy within. Baker girl, sweetest cakes in all the world. Baker girl, smiles as wide as frosting swirl. Strawberry top, chocolate sweet, every slice a happy treat. Children cheer, the stalls delight, morning cake shine golden light. Baker girl, sweetest cakes in all the world. Baker girl, smiles as wide as frosting swirl.
Yeah, there's so many here. So sometimes, these things. So anyway, so basically this is the logic, all right? So that I'll show you where, yeah. So this is the logic here. The idea behind this feature is that, so that you can actually create that. If you couldn't hear, and there's so many of you here, sometimes what happens is YouTube goes crazy like this, but it's good. You get the idea, right? So you can go create music with lyrics, you can paste in, and then you can even have you can paste your lyrics, okay, meaning your own, Okay. Like, for example, one of our customers are like, look, for my grandchildren, I've been writing these rhymes and songs for so long. It's in my book. I want to have it sang. I've been waiting for the last 10 years for an application like this, right? Which can do that, where I can come in and I can paste it. So all you got to do is you go into the Create Music tab here, and then you can start generating it. Like, you either paste your own lyrics, or, for example, you can even generate, AI will generate the lyrics for you. You give it an idea. A song about, in this particular case, was a baker girl who likes to bake cakes and sell it in the marketplace. Let's say, for example, okay? You can do any other variation of this, okay? All right. Now, the next thing, okay, which I kind of want to get to here, okay, if you think about it. So basically, we talked about music, which is vocal, and then also pop songs and stuff like that. And it also works as an example with like vocal of me or a human being singing and stuff like that, male and female, okay? Pop, rock, let's say, for example, jazz, you can put the categories and you put the lyrics, and it'll with chorus, verse, outros, and all that kind of stuff, all right? So the other one is basically the audio books and podcasts. So basically, this is where, for example, I'll show you. It's pretty cool. So you can have two people or multiple people talking together in the podcast section. All right. So super powerful. Like, if you think about it, like, you might be giving you some ideas, right? So like, I can have Yash and me speaking together, right? For example, one person is basically playing off of each other. So let me show you an example of this, and you can just think about your clone voices or the ones you've designed and stuff to also be the same case.
Your script or website into a podcast in your voice, fully customized. Check this out. Have you ever wondered what sugar really does to our body?
Honestly, I used to think it just gives energy or maybe causes cavities, but I've recently heard it can mess up a lot more.
Yes, so today we're going to discuss something we all consume daily, sugar, and why it might be doing more harm than we think.
Sugar's sneaky. It hides in everything, from ketchup to salad dressings, and people don't even realize how much they're consuming.
That's true, and it's not just about weight gain. Excessive sugar intake has been linked to obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even liver issues.
Wait, liver issues? I thought that was just alcohol related.
Yeah, not many know this, but too much fructose, especially from added sugars, gets stored as fat in the liver, leading to fatty liver disease.
That's wild. And I've read that sugar can also accelerate aging, like on the skin level too?
All right. So let me show you how this works in a nutshell. All right. So let's say, for example, we go into the podcast feature. So you're going to say speaker 1, right? And then you got speaker 2. You see this? 2 speakers. So what I can do is I can go in, select voice, and let's say me and Yash have to go battle it out, right? I'm going to put Paul's voice, which I cloned. And then basically we're going to go in and I'm going to put Yash's voice here. Okay. So this can also, by the way, it doesn't have to be any clone voice. Like, you can go into, say, the public library voice and say, I can have a battle with podcast with Dark Sorcerer, Brave Knight, Mischievous Fairy. You get the point. I can even do it that way as well. So you can do it in different ways. You can even use the system voices and stuff like that. You can even use angry teenager, right? Angry old man. You get the point, right? You can play around with all these other variations. But let's say I put Yash just here. So then it's going to say speaker 1. What do you want to put? I'll put Paul. Speaker 2 is Yash, right? So then we can say, right? A podcast about 2 people disagreeing about the future of AI technology, right? And you get the point. So, and then I can create it. So then what it's going to do is it's going to have speaker 1, speaker 2, and both me and Yash are disagreeing about this, and it's going to create that podcast basically. Okay. So like, if I go back here, so that's the auto podcast feature. Okay. Remember I showed you, this is the auto podcast feature. It's going to generate the whole script for the podcast, which you can edit, by the way, after. It can generate 2 people talking, obviously, and you can play around with it in different variations like that. Okay. Does that make sense? Pretty powerful, right? So you get the choice of like this. As you can see here, it's going to take like some bit of time because the podcast is pretty large in nature, and you can basically do it this way. Pretty awesome, powerful, right? If you think about it. Now, before I kind of show you this thing. I also want to talk about the audio books as well. That's a feature we're going to be rolling it out in the next 24 hours or so. I'll get to that. It's just a podcast style, but just longer in length. Okay. You can do like 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. Crazy length. Okay. So that's the audiobooks feature effectively. Okay. So like the audiobook feature will be up in about 24 hours or so. We're just doing some final touches for that one, but the same concept. You get the point? So the podcast kind of setup with two people, and then you can basically create it. All right. So basically that's the podcast one. Is that clear? All right. So where two people can battle it out, so to speak. Okay. See, that's the audio podcasting. Okay. Now, basically, okay. Before I get to some other cool things we have for you, let me announce the first $100 winner, because we have 5 $100 prizes. And then we also have like 20 free copies we're giving away, right? So who's the first $100 winner here? All right. So congrats to Alric Enoch. You win $100 just for attending this, Alric. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Let me write down your name, okay? Right here, so in case I miss it. So Alric. I'll just write down, because my team will get in touch with you, Alric, okay? So Alric, and then, yeah, congrats to you. You win $100 just for attending. So we have 4 other $100 winners to be given away. And yes, 20 free copies for attending, okay? So I'll show you that as well as we go along. All right. So now, we are 2,100 people here right now. So basically, hopefully, you're one of the 20. Let's see. All right. So I wanted to kind of show you a couple of things as well right now in terms of cool things that we've done, okay, in the application, and some other cool things as well. But while I'm doing that, I just wanted to kind of show you one other cool thing, which I kind of didn't get a chance to show you, which was our Script Genie feature. Okay, I'll show you this feature right now so that you can see why we did it, because it will allow you to take a YouTube video URL or anything like that and generate scripts with it. So like I can recreate a YouTube video or something like that. That's the feature that you see here. Okay, I'll show you that in just a sec. Right now, hopefully it'll work.
Drop in any video from TikTok, YouTube, Reels, or a podcast, and Script Genie does its magic. It studies the pacing, personality, tone, structure, and viral DNA of that content, and then generates a custom script written in your voice.
All right, you get the point, right? Generates a custom script with your voice, but it also utilizes like effectively some of these cool things that we've explained, right? Super powerful. So in a nutshell, like if you think about it, it comes with everything comes to audio, right? I mean, with this that you can do, it's pretty crazy if you think about it. Anything you can imagine, really, you can do emotions, expressions, and all that. I want to talk about some of the bonuses that we have if you get it today, okay? Because like I said, there's 2,000 some people right now, only 20 free copies are going to be given away. So even if you don't win, you're going to win with what we have for you, okay? Because some of these things are priceless, okay? And we'll show you that as well, how it works in just a second, while I kind of reveal what are we pricing this thing and stuff like that, so that we'll go into detail as well. We want to answer all your questions, right? Because the goal is to build the ecosystem like I mentioned to you earlier. So again, don't worry if if something is not clear, we're going to cover that anyway as we go along, okay? So one of the things that we are doing as a bonus, if you get, right, CloneVoice.ai, I'll tell the prize in just a second today, we're going to be giving away storybooks with your voice in Artistly, okay? How this will work, we'll explain just a bit because it needs some explanation and stuff like that. But the idea is very simple. When you basically want to bring in these voices, the designed voices, what we have, right? Like the angry ogre or the elf, or like, let's say, for example, the princess or fairy and that sort of thing, goblin, or one of these, or even the professional one, narrations and stuff, or your own clone voice, for example, you can bring them into Artistly to narrate the storybooks and the flip books. Okay, I'll show you how this works in just a second. Yash will be on and explain it. It's going to take a while to explain it, right? Obviously, but I want to tell you that we are integrating this so that, you know what's going to happen here? We will have all of them stick like a glue, right? Just like the Apple ecosystem, we say, right? The phone, the App Store, the headphones, right? Let's say the MacBook, right? The iMac, all of them integrate with them. That's what we want to plan. Artistly will integrate with Video Express, will integrate with CloneVoice.ai, will integrate with Talking Photos. You get the point. All of them in the ecosystem, so they will gel like a glue. So this is a bonus for you if you get CloneVoice.ai today. I'll tell you the price in just a second. You'll be blown away by it. Now, the next thing we're giving is the music storyboards from Rhyme. Okay, this is also integrated into Artistly. Remember, you can generate a rhyme, right? So if I open up, I'll show you. So if you have music here, you see in the music tab of CloneVoice.ai, so you see you have kids rhymes here. You can do AI generated or custom, right? Meaning you can put your own stuff, your own script or rhyme script. So let's say you generate any one of these. You can go back and you can actually auto-generate visual storyboards. We'll show you how this works within Artistly. It's a new feature we're bringing into Artistly so that they go hand in hand with each other. So that means, in other words, you can create a storyboard and then integrate that into your Artistly stuff, right? Like storybooks and flipbooks and stuff like that. We'll talk about it in just a second. And we'll also be doing it with Artistly. 3 things, okay? Where flipbooks and storybooks, video with voice, okay? So we'll explain that in just a second. So those who are on Artistly, you understand, right? When you create a flipbook with Artistly, one of the biggest things is, well, I have a flippable book that I give a URL to. Can I put my own voice in, which you'll be able to do with CloneVoice.ai when you get it today, and or other voices, right? Or whatever the case might be. And I want to export it as an MP4. That flipbook, I want to export it as an MP4, like a video, right? To be able to use in YouTube and stuff like that. So this is a feature which makes most sense when you have to bring in your own voices and creative voices and stuff like that. So this is another bonus we're going to be giving away, because this is the most valuable thing, right? We could say, well, our bonus is training. We do training for free. We could say, for example, come in and we'll give you premium support. We already give you premium support, right? In our Facebook group and all that stuff. That's a given. This is valuable because you don't have to go buy another tool, go get another integration and stuff. It's all within, right? In the ecosystem. The next thing, okay, and I'll show you how all of these works today, okay, because we'll be rolling these out. I'll tell you the dates when we're going to be rolling it out and how these integrations work, because we're going to train you on how to use this and stuff like that, right? The other one, okay, I'll explain this to you as well, is the other integration we're going to be doing is Video Express. So basically, I'll be able to show you a little bit of that in just in a bit, once I reveal the prize and all that kind of stuff, which is basically in Video Express, what we're going to be doing is you can be bringing in, okay, the voices from CloneVoice.ai, which is all the stuff I showed you, right? The clone voices, the voice public library voices, which is like 5,000 plus, or even the ones you did prompt to voice, let's say, for example, all the stuff you can be bringing into Video Express once you get CloneVoice.ai, and you can use it in your videos, okay? Pretty powerful. Okay, so how this will work, I'll show you actually right now. Then we'll talk about Artistly and stuff like that as well. So you can just go in right now. Hopefully it'll work. So many people are here. So we go to let me show you. Okay. So again, this is not available in your Video Express account. My special account has it, but I'll show you how this will look like. It'll appear like this. In Video Express, once you buy CloneVoice.ai today, under import media, okay, it's going to show up like this, CloneVoice.ai integration. So the voices that you created, okay, will show up under CloneVoice.ai. Here, you see these categories, my clone voice, my design voice, my public gallery, public library, for example. I can do it. So let's say clone voice, there's a design voice, there's a public library voice, like you see Brave 9 and stuff. I have limited ones here, and you can use it right within Video Express. So that way, with the video you're creating, it will come up here in the timeline, and this is coming soon. I'll explain to you, because this is only for our beta testers and my internal account. Well, this is how it is going to work. Seamless integration, okay? Where once you get CloneVoice.ai, those voices will appear here. That way, you don't have to use an 11 Labs or some other tool. And then the other way it's going to work is in Create from Prompt. At any point, you click on the talking photos and, human talking video, the voices will appear there as well, okay, under that video itself. So that way, if you're doing any lip sync stuff in Media Express and stuff, it will appear there as well. So in other words, let's say if I say princess is in front of her castle or something, I don't know, something I'm making up, and then you create it, right? And then you create the image, and then now you go in and then you're trying to do talking photos, and then you're trying to create the sync of that image and then turn it into video, for example. So this right here, like this one right here, as an example, could create. You see this right here, we have a tab called CloneVoice.ai. So when you get CloneVoice.ai, you're going to be able to use this and bring the voices here as well, like what you see right now. Okay, pretty cool, right? So you're able to do both. Does that make sense? You're able to do bringing them in here as well. Super powerful, as you can see here, basically, right? So that means that is how it's going to work. And similar thing with Talking Photos as well, because Talking Photos will have a V3 update for Talking Photos customers coming in about 3 weeks. So that means CloneVoice.ai will be like a glue that brings all these tools together. So that way, you don't have to jump into another technology elsewhere and then waste a lot of time, right? So how much is this thing? Okay. Because as I said, you're going to be giving away 20 free copies, but there's like 2,200 people here right now, live, right? What does that mean then? So basically what we want to do is we want to make sure that it's, first of all, very affordable. Second of all, it will keep getting the updates that we've always promised and we've done for VD Express. We've done 2 version updates, for Artistly 6, and then Talking Photo is getting the 3rd one coming up in about 3 weeks time. So the idea is with all these updates we're doing, right? So the main thing that we want to mention here is that you see development costs go in, right? We have to do a lot of R&D stuff. This is stuff we're building in-house. So we've been thinking about it a lot. So how do we price this thing, right? Because if you look at it right now, the only one who's actually even close to what, CloneVoice.ai can do is this company called, let me show you, is a company called 11 Labs, right? And we've been thinking about it because we basically have so many of our customers using this technology as well. And if you look at it, and I want to be transparent as possible, right? Just not waste time here because you all are smart enough to understand, right? So anyway, the point is like they have anything usable will come around $99 per month. That comes with about 500 minutes of text to speech. Okay. To put it in perspective, 500 minutes, okay, just simple, right? Is under about 10 hours, right? So how many hours is it? Like, let's just even do a calculator, just not waste time. So like let's be here, 500 divided by 60 minutes. It's about 8 hours per month for the $99 per month plan, right? So if you divide that by, let's say 30 days, in a month, it's like 20 minutes or 25 minutes a day, give or take. All right. So 25 minutes a day. You're like, okay, it's 25 minutes a day for $99 a month. So basically, if you want to use anything, let's say you want to create an audiobook or a podcast or something that you're regularly using, you want to upgrade to this $330 per month account, correct? So this one is about 2,000 minutes of speech per month for $330 a month. How much is 2,000 minutes again? Because minutes sound like a lot, right? So 2,000 minutes divided by 30, right? Some months is 31, so 66 hours, right? 66 hours per month divided by, let's say, basically 16 minutes, right? For the hour. It's about 1 hour per day, okay? 1 hour, 10 minutes. So 1 hour, 10 minutes per day for $330 per month. The reason why this is the case is it's expensive, okay, to be able to clone a voice, to be able to generate the audio, to be able to keep the similarity, to be able to generate all this stuff we discussed, emotions and laughter and all that stuff. So really, I mean, if we told users, okay, pay $99 a month for this $330 per month plan, I mean, it would be a fair deal, but then it will be out of reach for everybody, right? And it's not something that we want to be known as. We want to be people who give you affordable stuff, but also stuff that will be updated. And we're not looking to make a lot of profit. I mean, these folks are VC backed, meaning venture capitalists. They have a lot of investors, so they need to squeeze as much money as possible. Our goal is you are our community. We want to give back to you. We are not spending any money on advertising to acquire you as a customer, nor do we have to please any venture capitalists or anybody else like that. We just want to give value, right? So that, you can spread the word and word of mouth and stuff like that. Obviously, that's what we're aiming for. And that's why we've done so many free updates and stuff like that as well. So how much? So what we were thinking is, okay, what we have to do is we have to charge a monthly thing, right? We got to charge it. Somehow it has to make sense. So we were thinking, okay, we're going to do something like $49 a month, right? For this thing. And then we'll maybe give you a trial for like 10 days, 5 days. But then how does that help you? Because you have been using Video Express. It was a one-time payment for lifetime access. You've been using Talking Photos, one-time payment, lifetime access. Artistly, same thing. If we put recurring and a monthly payment for this, it's not going to make any sense, right? And at the end of the day, you're not even going to use the application because you're going to be stressed out where 30 days from now, the other rebill will come. So what we thought is we'll do it pretty much, right, at our cost. Whether we make money, if we lose money, doesn't matter. We want to give back to you in a big way. So like we've done always. So this is what you can get right now. Okay. You're going to have two choices. I don't recommend you to get this choice at all, but the basic account comes with a lot of limitation, doesn't have all the features and stuff. But the basically the all access account comes with, for $169 is the regular price. You're going to get a special coupon auto applied in the checkout page for which is going to make it $25 off, which is $144. Okay. Again, one-time payment for lifetime access. We don't even know if it's gonna make us any money. We might end up losing money, but the point is future people will end up paying more money. We've done that with Video Express and some of the other tools where we increase the price, where you will be grandfathered in. So if version 2.0 of CloneVoice comes, it's free for you. Same like we've done with Artistly for 6 version updates. Same like we've done for Video Express with the second one, and Talking Photos V3 coming up in 3 weeks, right? So you can go to CloneVoice.ai/go. Okay, this is a special link, CloneVoice.ai/go, and you can get it for just $144. Again, this is a one-time payment, no recurring subscriptions, no upsells. Okay, let me explain that again. Okay, nothing internal to buy. Again, if you get it, you're going to be logging in right away. You get instant access to the stuff. So no upsells, no shenanigans, and no basically shady stuff behind the scenes happening, like what happens with these other companies out there. And you've seen us, right? We've been here you've been our customer for over a decade, some of you folks. We're not gone anywhere. I put my name behind it. Our team is here as well. So CloneVoice.ai/go, all right? So now, basically, we'll be talking about the bonuses that we had. I told you here we're going to give to folks who get this all access account. You're going to get the integrations, right? You're going to get integrations with Artistly, integrations with Video Express and all that stuff. And you get this. So in other words, you get CloneVoice.ai and you already own Video Express. You already own Talking Photos. You already own Artistly, right? That means these voices will appear in those accounts as an integration, similar to how Apple's ecosystem would be and that sort of thing, right? So you go in here, CloneVoice.ai/go. And what I recommend you do is post your transaction in the chat box as well, because we're going to be doing something fun for those who post their transaction. They just say you got it and you post it right here. I'll be picking 20 winners as well as we go along in just a second as we go along from it. What I would suggest though is don't wait for that 20 to be announced, because there's 2,200 some people here. Your odds of winning are very low, but please understand this is the lowest value you're going to get. Like imagine we're mapping out, okay? And I'll talk about as well what we are doing here. So how we are mapping out this thing, okay, just so you understand, so I'll show you actually, is the value you're getting is almost mapping out this $330 a month plan for 11 labs, okay? That's the level of value you're getting. You're not even the $99 a month. We'll be happy doing that, right? And again, like we will be increasing the price for sure down the line. But so if you go, and I'll show you how to